clear up. It's like if you were waking up from anesthesia, I guess, or something. And then you, yeah, it's like you've been drugged, I guess. I don't know. And then I want to be clear. I want to be clear-minded. And there's times when I'm foggy, or I could just say I'm tired or whatever, where I could just drink like coffee. Like I could just drink shots of espresso and I wouldn't wake up. Like it just wouldn't happen. And maybe my body would start pounding and my heart would start, doing something, but like my brain won't go. And yeah, it's terrible. But,
when did you start feeling those things? Talk to me about the history of it.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to decipher like what was there and what is there now, and how I've more kind of looked at things that happened in my life. Whereas before I thought it was normal. So when I think back, I think of like it was more a dim feeling, like a really dreary feeling, a really I think my fear towards being slow was higher, so I must have had kind of a more prolonged feeling of that fear of freezing up. Like since I went to school in the morning till I'm out of school, it was probably mostly school that had affected me the most. Like always thinking about when I'm gonna mess up. For me now, I feel like, okay, well, I know I've accomplished some things in life. I know I'm, not stupid and my brain does work. But I know that if I'm gonna get in the environment of like the clinical setting and I'm gonna have to do it fast, I know, okay, I can try, I can do it, and it sucks when my brain goes out, and it's okay. Whereas I think I just have an overwhelming, like kind of looming negative feeling, yeah. Doesn't make much sense, I guess.
Overwhelming, negative, looming feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to think back, how far back. Well, the question was about how far. Yeah, I think now the difference is that the tiredness of the fogginess is kind of different than before, where I think I might not have been so tired feeling. And now I think it's finally gotten to me. But yeah, I think before I would have just been wound up as a kid, and nervous.
So you did it. Let's get some stuff. How much drugs have you done?
What kind of drugs?
I'm asking.
Oh, like prescribed or?
Recreational.
Anything? Recreational marijuana and alcohol.
If you put it, because they're not going to hear my question. Mm-hmm. So you could repeat back. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, cool.
So I've done marijuana. I've had marijuana off and on, and I've actually used it to help me come off of Seroquel, which was a prescribed drug, which actually helped me a lot, I think. And then alcohol, and other than that, street drugs. I've never taken any street drugs whatsoever.
How much drinking?
How much have I drinking?
How much do you drink?
Depends. I mean, I've taken times where I didn't have anything for like months, and then there's times where I'll drink more frequently. Like I'll have, I'll try to not have too much in a week, so probably like I won't drink throughout the week, and then there'll be a weekend where I'll drink a lot. And then there'll be times where I just drink throughout the week, like a glass of wine or something like that. but it's more sporadic.
Could the fuzziness be the drugs?
No.
Tell me that.
They couldn't be the drugs because.
I don't think that my fuzziness is caused by. You see
Oh, I don't think my fuzziness is caused by the drugs whatsoever. It happens when I haven't had. I mean, I haven't had marijuana in like 3 months. In fact, before then I tried it out to see if it would help with my anxiety, because what's better, something that attacks your liver, a benzo, or something, you know, if I eat it, doesn't really cause as much of an effect. It depends, you know. So I tried and it didn't work as well, but I didn't have, you know, I'm not going to a medicinary, so it's not legal. So yeah, but before that I hadn't had it for almost 2 years. So because I thought it affected me negatively, which was in no way the case, because I've gotten worse. I think it's probably made me feel better. In terms of alcohol, I've had a lot of anxiety when I wouldn't have a sip of alcohol. You know, I think my longest time was I went like 6 months without drinking, and I still had this still reoccurring. Fuzziness, I mean the real fogginess, like the tired aspect that I said is more recent. I mean, I don't think it has to do with alcohol. I definitely think alcohol causes an increased anxiety once it wears off, and the next day. And I mean, my hangovers are like no one else's. It's not the same as anyone else, and the sickness isn't what's the problem, right? I get anxiety, like insane anxiety if I drink too much. So yeah, definitely affected that. But in terms of every day, it comes up when I don't.
Yeah. The other things that a person would ask, which won't surprise you, of course, you look for alternative explanations. First is drugs, alcohol. Another thing you look for is sleep or exercise. How are you doing on either of those?
I try to make my sleep incredibly regular, but it is so impossible. So the closest I came to the most regular pattern was when I was given Ambien, Prozac, Vyvanse, and I had a set pattern. I could go to sleep at a time and I could wake up at a certain time, and I could take something to make me focus, and it was just this, and in no way I would say great for your health, but for someone that's living a terrible life, I guess it's worth it. But I try to make it regular. Sleep is the most important thing to me. I sleep a lot. I sleep too much, and I wish I wasn't the type of person that needed that much sleep. And then there's times when I don't sleep for 3 days, and that's uncontrollable, and that's when I will go take a prescribed drug that, you know, I don't think is good for me. But yeah, and try to get out of that rhythm. Right now I take cortisol suppressants, and I try to go to bed. I try to take them and be in bed at 11 and hopefully fall asleep by 11:30 or 12. And then I'll wake up, you know, at like 9 or 8, you know, depending on how I'm feeling or how much time I have. If I don't get sleep, it scares me. I'm like, the sleep kind of controls my life. So if I know I won't be able to sleep, or if I'm going to get up early, I'll prep everything the day before, have everything ready, try to make sure the house is clean, because I don't know how my brain will be working. And then to the point where I'll freak out about it. So I'll try to cancel something so that I can take a nap. And then a lot of times I'll get sick. So like the type of people that just get 5 hours regularly. And I know that's not too many people, but it's a lot. I would get sick after 5 hours regularly after probably 3 or 4 days, like a cold, like runny nose, sore throat, that kind of thing. So my immune system isn't even up to it,
What about, do you get much exercise?
Yeah, that's a tough one too. So I played volleyball and I try to keep myself in like routine things for that. But I've had times where exercise doesn't feel good. So when I have really bad anxiety and it's been going on, I can hardly climb a flight of stairs without feeling like I'm going to topple over. I stand up and I'm lightheaded. So it's one of those things where like my dad will be like, "Oh, are you exercising?" And it's like, "Well, you want to see me, what I look like right now? Or you want to feel what it feels like? I can't exercise right now." And I could try to take a brisk walk, and I try to walk a lot. And there are other times too I work out and then afterwards I'll tend to have worse anxiety. It's like it took a lot out of me. Or I'll get nauseous, it's like that could be nausea or exercise-induced nausea. But it's like it will really affect me. So if I think what it is when I'm near a state of, if I'm in a lot of anxiety, then it might have a negative effect.
What's anxiety? Explain.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. For me, I separate anxiety and panic. I think of anxiety as kind of both. I would say panic is mostly physical, which is like tightening up of the chest, sweating. My arms feel limp, like it's scary. That it just gets scary. I mean, that's when people go into the hospital because they think they're having a heart attack, as it probably feels like what a heart attack would feel like. But then anxiety is different because anxiety is if it's an anxiety attack, like a full-blown one, I'm confused. Like I've got negative things running through my head constantly, and I can't put things together, and I can't focus on anything. And it's like I really just want to get out of my skin, and I can't. And I'm stuck, and I don't want to run. I can't sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to eat. I don't want to do anything, and I don't. Yeah. And then I'll be like sweaty and lightheaded, and my heart will be pounding, and these are times when I could be tired. I could have not slept for 3 days, which this would definitely happen, and I would get a really bad anxiety attack, and then I'd probably pass out, literally wouldn't remember when I fell asleep because I had an anxiety attack. That's because I needed to pass out. My body needed to. For some reason, my mind or God knows what wouldn't let me. Yeah, I don't necessarily, I can be very tired and it'll still come on.
You worry about stuff?
Yes. Tons of things.
I started because they want to hear my question. I worry about tons.
Oh, I worry about tons of things. Well, I worry about the general things that I think people worry about, like